Is TSA pre-screen worth it? I just got back from Denver, and I would say yes, it is. Now, when I went to get pre-screened, went about 4 days before I flew out, 4 or 5 days before I flew out. It was $85, which is essentially $17 a year because it's good for 5 years. They said it would take about 20 to 30 days before I would get my information if it was good, but I got it by Thursday or Friday. And when I went to John Glenn Airport in Columbus, there was a long line to get through security. And when I went through security with the pre-screen, because it's on the boarding pass, when you check in, you put in the code that they give you, and it will say TSA pre-screen or pre-check, and you go through that line. I was the only person in that line, so I was through in about less than 2 minutes, less than 1 minute actually. And my friend who did not have it, it took him probably about a half hour. I was already eating breakfast, and before he came in, and so that was, it was like I said, it was a long line in Columbus. But when we flew out of Denver, it was even busier, even more crowded, and it was just a massive sea of people, and even the line to get the pre-check was also pretty long, probably about 15 to 20 people ahead of me, maybe even 30. I don't know exactly how many because the line went a ways. But about 7:58 on a Friday morning, I made it through the TSA Precheck because it goes very, very fast, and I was through in about 10 minutes. Went right on through. By the time I got to the shuttle to take us to the terminal to the A concourse, I was already. I was excited. I was there by 8:08. I had time to eat breakfast and just basically relax. Use the facilities if I needed to. By the time my friend got through, it probably took him just a little under an hour to get through the check. And even though he said it would move pretty swiftly or moved at an orderly pace, it took him an awful long time to get through compared to what I had to do. So to answer the question, if you're wondering, is it worth it to do the pre-check? Yes, it is. Especially not necessarily because if you're in a rush, because we got there with plenty of time to spare. The reality is you just don't have to go through the nonsense. When you go through the line, you take out you show them your ID, you show them your boarding pass. I had a computer bag with me. You put all that the same things you do when you go through normal check. You do. Empty your pockets, the whole 9 yards. But the only difference is you're not taking off your belt, you're not taking off your shoes, you're not taking off. I kept my glasses and my watch on, and just walked on through. And it's just a shorter line and just an easier way of doing things. So if you're wondering, should I do the pre-check? It's certainly worth it, especially if you travel a lot by plane. It is definitely worth it. If you are thinking, even if you only travel like once or twice a year, I still think it's worth it. So TSA PreCheck, I would say yes, it's worth it. Any questions, just ask.